Welcome to your AP Bio Introduction, How to Survive. Before you step in the classroom, here are some things you should know. Tip 1. Get the lab seats at all costs. And I mean all costs, because they will change your experience in this class for the better. Tip number 2. Always do your study guides when she tells you to do them. They literally give you the answers to the test, and if you don't do them, she'll leave you behind. Tip number 3. Make sure this, adenosine triphosphate, better known as ATP. Tip number 4, and it's probably too late for you guys, but make sure you pay attention in chemistry. You're going to need it. Tip number 5, know how to make a baby. Not what you're thinking, you dirty-minded fool. That way. Now that you know the basics, let's dive into life inside the classroom. Mitosis is the process in which a cell finishes the cell cycle and splits into two identical daughter cells. Can anyone tell me what meiosis is?
Oh yeah, it has to do with sex.
No, it happens in reproductive cells. What made you think that was okay to say? For you math nerds out there, meiosis is basically mitosis squared. The few differences are, mitosis happens in autosomal cells, which are bodily cells, and they're haploid, and versus meiosis, which happens in reproductive cells and is diploid. Haploid means each cell has the normal amount of DNA required, so that when mitosis happens, each cell now has double the proper amount of DNA, so haploid is normal. This way, when the two daughter cells form, each of the new cells now has the proper amount of DNA left over. Does anyone know what diploid means then in this case?
Diploid must mean that cells start with double the amount of normal DNA. But how does this benefit reproduction?
There's the thing. Mitosis doesn't do enough on its own, so that's why meiosis occurs in diploid cells. Meiosis basically makes mitosis happen again, therefore resulting in double the amount of daughter cells created with the proper amount of DNA.
Well, how do you expect me to remember that? Do my homework? Gosh.
Yeah, because if you don't, I'm going to leave you behind. Alright, class. Our next topic is evolution. Can anyone define evolution for me?
I can. It's a thing that happens in Pokemon.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things you choose to be. Brandon, you can't do much worse.
Yeah, it's the development of a species through natural selection and other forces over many generations.
That's what I meant. Same difference. I have a question. Since I'm the latest generation, does that mean I'm the best Palmy?
No, your brother is way smarter than you. He goes to Sage. Now, does anyone know what genetic drift is?
Yeah, it's the change in frequency of a population's gene pool due to random chance.
Good job.
Will that be on the test?
Yes, along with natural selection. Garrett, any ideas?
Yeah, natural selection is when certain genes are more favorable and therefore selected to be passed on and reproduced. And the genes that then are unfavorable end up being killed off due to the fact that nobody wants to mate with the organisms that have unfavorable genes.
Garrett, put your textbook away. That's cheating.
Dang it!
Now, does anyone know how an environment can impact evolution?
One way could be a change in location through migration, or maybe it could be an introduction of a new species, or it could
The leveling up.
I'm gonna forget you said that. Good
Well,
job.
I sure hope Garrett's family evolves so his children don't turn out as dumb as he is.
Does anyone know what I'm doing right now?
Breathe.
Wrong.
Ha! Nerd!
I'm pretty sure.
No one asked for your opinion, Brandon. Anyways, if I can get back to what I was talking about, there are four main parts to cellular respiration: glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. The main purpose of cellular respiration is to create ATP, which keeps you alive.
Wait, what's ATP?
Alright, you ain't passing. You just failed one of the quick steps that you need to know before entering the classroom. Rest of you guys, memorize this equation. It's the key to life. Does anyone know what DNA is?
Yeah, it's what makes up our genes.
Correct. Now what does DNA stand for?
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Very good. Now what makes up DNA?
Chromosomes.
Awesome. What makes up a chromosome?
I don't know.
You have adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. How do they pair up?
Adenine to thymine.
Good job. And so the other two have to be
Guanine to cytosine.
awesome. You're doing great. So if I were to give you this sequence, what would the other one be?
I got it. Ka-chow!
Great job. Someone's been doing their homework. So make sure you look at this top box. You need to know that it will be on the AP test. Does anyone know what the difference between a eukaryote and a prokaryote is?
I do. Prokaryotes are the best at everything because they're pros.
No. A prokaryote is a single-celled organism with no nucleus, whereas a eukaryote is a cell that has a nucleus and multiple membrane-bound organelles.
Can anyone tell me whether we are eukaryotic or prokaryotic?
I'm a prokaryote because I'm a pro at everything.
Off the bat of Brad Miller, and that baby's gone.
I'm sorry, Garrett, that's wrong. We are eukaryotes because our cells have a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles.
Membrane-bound what?
Membrane-bound organelles, such as the ref-ER, which is used to make proteins, the nucleus, which stores our DNA, the lysosome, which filters out the cell, the mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell, which makes ATP, the vacuole, which functions as storage, the Golgi, which is like the USPS of the cell, it just ships everything out of it, and the smooth ER, which makes lipids, or fats, that's how you get fat. And then plants specifically have a chloroplast, which helps with photosynthesis.
I think I understand, but can you explain it one more time?
No!